to another edition of Every Man is a Millionaire. Today, we're going to talk about debt. Why you need to get out of debt before you start to really invest in yourself. Now, we've talked about a lot of stuff here, and I'm getting ready to change a lot of stuff around here. So you may want to unsubscribe. If you don't know who I am, I'm Glendon Cameron, your founding hustling godfather. What we do here is teach people how to make money. That could be through a hustle, that could through a business, that can be through creativity. So with that, we're going to kind of start the channel over. And what I mean by that is we're going to start dealing with the root cause of problems. One one of the reasons that so many people, and Von B, there's a reason I'm switching my intro. I have so many people who are misunderstanding me. Maybe I'm just doing a shitty job of putting stuff out there. So I want to start it over to be clear. Now, we're going to also start with this. Be sure to get on the text notification list, which I don't think I set that up correctly. It's the live stream notification list. Get on that list because YouTube does not send everyone content. Once again, this is YouTube's platform. They can send you wherever they want to. So if you want to get stuff hot off the presses and be part of the conversation, you need to get on that list. All right. Now, let's go with the changing of the intro. This has been a very interesting week. I've had a lot of people who've made some assumptions. And once again, I'll take responsibility. I'm the founder. I'm the leader of the pack. And I'm going to clear some shit up. Number one, if you're one of those dudes who like to drink and trick women, go over to Disruptive Mail and check out that latest video. You may unsubscribe, and that's great because we ain't getting down like that. And there's been a lot of low key, hey, it's cool. No, it ain't cool. But once again, I addressed that at Disruptive Mail. What I'm going to do over here is start creating content that you need, but not content you necessarily want. And this is a decision that I made because typically this channel is not going to grow really quickly because of this change. It may even regress because YouTube is focused on what people want to see. Well, I'm here to tell you a lot of what you want to see is bullshit. A lot of the content you enjoy ain't going to help you. If you want to transform your life, if you want to move from where you are right now to something bigger and better, stay subscribed. But if you're looking for quick hits, you're looking for extremely cheap education, if you're looking for bullshit, if you're looking for something you could do this weekend, I don't have anything for you as a paid product. There's plenty of information on this channel. All you have to do is watch. Your opportunity cost is time because you're watching these videos and you've got to go through them. What we're going to do, and the people in Hustler Undergrad are going to be the first ones to get this, is we're going to start foundationally at the root problem. And I'm going to talk about my experience in my journey. It is fucking hard to get ahead economically when you have a lot of debt. Unless you have a really high income, it is hard. It's damn near impossible. One of the reasons that I keep talking about what people make, and also in the Facebook group we talked about, a lot of people were just shocked at where they were. If you make $28,000, you make, and this is single person income. This is not household income. Household income is financial trickeration. Single person income is a direct beat. Matter of fact, let's get into. Yep. All right. So let me show you something. Like I showed the guys in the group, and there is a very good video in the group. So if you want to join, be sure to do so. I have moderators that will add you instantly. All right. So we're going to put in $28,000. You make more money making $28,000 as a single person than 51% of the country. This is, all right. So let's do this. So you make 50, you're a 27%er. Once again, now I know we have everyone and their mother who watches this channel. We love that. We're about to get into some specificity. So if you're a white male, you're in the 31% tile. All right. If you're a black male, you're in the 18th percentile. So if you're a brother making $50,000 a year, you make more money than 72%, no, 82% of everyone else that's black. Let's see. Let's go ahead and let's go with male. Make sure to, so you're a 21%er. And let's see if you are female, you're 15th percenter. So let's do this again. $50,000. If you're a black woman that makes $50,000, you're in the top 15%. If you're a male, you're in the 21%. Now, what does that tell you? Black women are making more money than black men. Let's do this for Mr. Charlie and crew. Let's go white. So white male, you're in the 40%. And if you are a woman, oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Male, 40th percenter. Female, you're in the 22%. So if a woman, you're making, more than 78% of your peers at just 50K. 50K. Now, let's move the cheese up here. This is for women. So as a white woman making 100K, you're making more money than 95% of all other white women. All right. Now watch this magic. Not much separation there. All right. Now we'll do this in the 5th percentile. So essentially, the higher you go, the tighter the ranges get. And you do this 50. I'm going somewhere with this. So you're a male at 150, you're in the top 2%. And if you're a white male, you actually go down to the 7%. Now, why are these numbers important? They're to illustrate to you that a lot of these people who are on YouTube, Facebook saying you can make all this money are fucking lying to you. Just straight up. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Over half this country is broke. Now, good news. So if you're making 30 something to 60 something, you are doing very well compared to the rest of the country. Also, right now, the economy is stable. Now, imagine what's going to happen when the economy slows down and slides. We already got people suffering. We already have people who've got way too much muff and they do check. This is happening right now. We got people living out their cars. We got people who are buried in student loan debt. Yeah, all these folks out here making all this money. It is literally a handful of people making this kind of money once you get to 100K. So this should tell you something. So what we're going to do is talk about debt, investing, in your future. When I was in that boarding house, I had a lot of debt, about $80,000. I was making 250 a week. I couldn't even pay on it. And this was joint debt between my wife, ex-wife, and about probably 78 of it was hers, but my name was on it. I couldn't even breathe at night sometimes. So I went through my little process, got the job at Rent a Crate, and I was making 38K. Let me show you another check. I was making 38K base in 2000, 1999, 2000. Let me show you something else. All right. So here we go. All right. So this is about 18 years ago. So 38,000. So when I was making that 38,000, it was like making $56,000 today. Plus I had commission. All right. So let's go over here to this. Put in 56,000. And we're going to put it, let's see, black male. So back then I was in the 16th percentile for just making 38 grand. Adjusted for inflation is 56,000 today. You see, the once you get into the 50s, this is where you go. You're under the 20%. You're almost at the 15%. Now, this one's about to pop your wig. And this is where I'm going to really unveil some stuff. So when I was at Panel Systems, I started making this. All right. Because I was only at Rent a Crate 8 months. So let's see where we'll just call it 90. And this is where I started being able to do stuff. This is when I started to have a lot of money at the end of the month. It was like, I remember I had 2 checks that I had put in the bank and didn't even touch. So one of your reasons for your struggle is you're in debt and you don't make enough money. Now I know you're going like, I already know this, Glendon, but do you really know how bad it is? And this is why I'm showing you these charts, because it's going to be very hard for you to get to the next level unless you improve your income. I need to put some more light on this. It's going to be very, very hard. And what's going to happen is we're developing new caste systems in America, and we're developing new economic moats. I live in an economic moat because I pay attention to small things that most people miss. I literally live 2.5, 3 miles from where I used to live. The difference is night and day. There's less traffic over here. There's better schools over here. I live in an economic moat because the price of houses here are so expensive that unless you're a certain income, you just can't get in. There are no apartment complexes over here. There's a few older townhouses. I'm guaranteed, because I've driven around. It's like, how did this happen? Also, what they're doing on the other side is that they are removing low income housing. That's another economic mode activity. They're going to put it where the people who are the maids, the cooks, they won't be able to live in this neighborhood. There's a few places for them now, but they won't be able to live in this neighborhood. And this is going to create this caste system, a very interesting caste system. So before you try to invest, because I see people investing in Bitcoin, the stock market, and then, once again, you got to get yourself in a situation where you don't have any debt. If that means sell your car and get out, get you point A to point B car, sell your car. I'm telling you, this is very, very serious. What happened in Japan is coming here. The top 20% will be fine. The bottom 80% is going to catch hell. And we are, because let me tell you what's going on. Right now, we have the confirmation hearing. Unless some really crazy shit happens, he's going to be sitting on the Supreme Court. And then Donald is going to lose the House and the Senate, and they're going to impeach him. Then all of this propping up stuff that they've been doing to the economy is just going to fall apart. That's the trick. Because what they're going to do is going to say it was because the Democrats got in charge. That's why the economy went bad. I already see how this story is going to play out. But the truth of the matter is, it was going to go bad regardless of who was in office. Doesn't matter. And Trump will catch a lot of that blame, but he would try to shift it to the Democrats. So while this is happening and people are getting very partisan and people voting for their for their party and their guy and all this other stuff, the economy is going to be exploding down, imploding. And then all of these tax cuts, all of these entitlement programs that have been cut, if you're in that bottom 50%, you're going to feel that in ways you can't imagine. So what I want you to do is to start working on your economics today. You got a high car note, get rid of that bitch. You might need to move. And it's like, hey, you got this nice. The only debt I have is this house payment. I don't have any car payments. I don't have any credit card debt. Nothing. And I'm intentionally keeping it that way because once this shit melts down, my $1, which is just acts as $1, it's going to be acting like $20 to $30. My $1, because shit's going to be on sale. People going to be on sale. Cars going to be on sale. Houses going to be on sale. It's all going to be on sale. And if you are you got two choices here. You can be on the side who is buying the sale price items, or you can be on the side that is selling. There ain't no middle ground. They raised the retirement age to 70. You're going to see the retirement age be raised to 75 because people are living longer. You already got grandpa at McDonald's, Home Depot. They're going to start transitioning. It's like, okay, doing this job. So what kind of job do I do in retirement? The whole sit down, do nothing retirement, that's going to be reserved for just a few people who've made some really good decisions in life. So you must get out of debt. Now there's good debt and there is bad debt. Bad debt is using your credit card to buy purses. Good debt is using your credit card to buy stuff you can buy and sell, to get training, to tone yourself up. Bad debt is using your credit card limit to go on a vacation. Good debt is using your credit card to go on a vacation because you have a YouTube channel. Now you can turn that into a tax deduction. So there's a way for you to enjoy life, live life, and save and make money, but you cannot do it half-assed. You can't do it just like playing around. You really gonna have to be on your game, because this is real and it's gonna get realer. So I'm telling you. So all you guys who are trying to quote invest your way out of paying, and make enough money through investments to pay off your debt. You always see these stories on Google about how Bitcoin's going to go to the next level. You never see the stories of, I went out and took a HELOC loan out and bought Bitcoin and now I'm in the. They bury those stories. Hold on a second. Let me open this up. This is the stuff you don't see. All right. So let's go ahead and go price of Bitcoin. Right. So what you see, Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin breakout, elusive, a price retreats from one, unless Bitcoin momentum is building. Since January, I have been seeing this stuff. Each month it's going to go, it's going to break, it's going to break, it's going to break. It's Bitcoin reversal. All of this stuff is propaganda, because all the Coinbase, you look at who's putting this out. They all have a heavy interest in you buying Bitcoin. Now, let's go ahead and check up the search. Still comes up Coinbase, momentum. See? Now, we already know that many people lost a ton of money, right? All right. Now, here's the stuff you will not see unless you specifically look for this. Lost. That's not a typo. Lost 130. Well, let's see if it's a real video, because a lot of people do clickbait. Nah, he don't look happy. Let's see. I lost all my Bitcoin. I lost 400 Bitcoin investing in altcoins. This is 2018. So once again, if you just go to Bitcoin, you're going to find nothing but positive stuff, but you're going to have to actually put in this, because you just put in Bitcoin. Now watch this. Oh, that's interesting. That's a good one. Okay, these people are questioning it. So once again, you got to get out of debt before you start investing. You just you do, and it's going to be hard. It's going to suck, but this is what you're going to have to do. Unless you're using your money not to invest in Bitcoin, not quote to invest in the stock market, because these are slow investments. You can make money, but it's going to take some time. But if you're trying to earn some money to satisfy your debt while still being in debt, what you're doing is diluting your dollars, which could go to service the debt and pay it off faster. So I'm just saying this because we're getting ready to change this. We're getting ready to make some different moves. And you got people who will say this is bullshit. They're not going to agree with it. I am Hustler 876. I made 10,000 last week. 2 months ago, I was sleeping on my mother's couch. I'm just giving you the real, and this is what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the real. This is like the first and serious set of videos of how you can get out of a bad situation. And it's not going to be quick. It's not going to be fast. And it's not going to be something that you're going to really see the results of for many months or a few years. That's what we're doing here, because I've come up with a new calculation, recalibration. If I can help a handful of people, fine. That's it. I don't, because a lot of people just want to stay on these false narratives. They keep wanting to believe that Bill Cosby, who had a net worth of 300 million, was going to buy a company for 4 billion. I can't help those people. I just can't. Their belief narrative system is not going to work with the information I'm putting out, because I don't care who you are. I don't care how smart or not smart you are. Everyone knows that $300 million is way less than 4 billion. Even though 300 million is a lot of money, is life-changing money for everybody who's listening to this, but 300 million ain't 4 billion. It ain't. But people stay stuck on these false narratives because it makes them feel good, because they don't want to do the hard work of becoming better people, richer people. They just don't. What's up, Richard Mayfield? Oh, we got all kinds of people up here. Your mama left these at my house. That is hilarious, man. We'll talk about that later, because I'm gonna put in some new content in Hustle Undergrad. What's up? Cool breeze, mindless entitlement. Time is the most precious commodity. Absolutely correct. Kevin Stu, I know it's a big debate, but would you focus on paying down your debt with all savings? If there's a balance in there, no income, I just flip cars and boats. I would not. If I had 15, 20K saved and I had no income coming in, I would not use that money to pay off debt. I would rather go, like, whatever you make, I'd rather go, like, I'm going to double that. And then I would double my income and use the additional income to pay off the debt. I would not take, because once again, and this is a really good question, everybody has a different situation. He don't have a job. He flipping stuff, so he don't have a job to quit. But if you're self-employed, you need a savings account. You need at least 10, 20K somewhere, not in the money market, not in the RA, but 10 to 20K is liquid that you can get from an ATM machine or walk in the bank and write a check and pull that money out if you're an entrepreneur. I know, David. A lot of people are literally, I'm going to tell you a story. It was this chick I used to go to church with. She was a Harvard MBA. The girl had to rent out her house and live with people because she couldn't find a job. And then she had one of those testimonies in church where she was talking about her. You wouldn't know it to look at her. You wouldn't know it the way she spoke. But to David Mendez, that there's a lot of people like that, because there are still people who are hurt from the last recession, and the next one's literally around the corner. I would say it would be worse, Von B. See, this is the thing. Like, once again, I give you a little game about statistics. All right. So let's see. Oh, I need to do that. So that will, there we go. Statistics usually trend one way, and it's not good. Let's see. Percentage. All right. The rise of women without wedding rings having babies are about 40% born in the United States to unmarried mothers. And this was 2015. Okay. So do this. And that's 2015. Pew's pretty good. Because one of the things you have to do is dig into the numbers. Because the reason that this number is top of line is because it has been, well, it's been hit. This one has been hit a lot. So it's 39.8. All right. So 2016. Alabama, 40% of the kids born in Alabama. This isn't broken down by race either. It's everybody. Almost, very close to 50%. Alaska, 30%. Arizona, 45%. See, what's happening is they'll use these numbers to crank down this number. And just look at it. You've got some states, let's say 45, 45, 44. Note the states, they're all poor. Delaware, 40. Now, the reason Hawaii, there ain't that many people out there. Idaho, conservative Midwesterners, Illinois. Look at the difference between Idaho and Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, 40%, Louisiana, 52%. So when you dive into the numbers, you see that the unwed birth rate is worse depending on where you are. New Mexico, 51%. So if you just look at that top line number, you could be a little confused. But if you look at this, you'll see that usually the poor states, Nevada's poor state, believe it or not, North Carolina, South Carolina. So in some states, we already have 50% of the kids who are born. This is across the board. White mothers, black mothers. These women ain't married. Now, typically when you have these kind of stats, they skew up. They don't skew down. They skew up, but they don't skew down. Typically. So it's worse. And I'm going to tell you why it's worse. Now, interesting thing, millennials are not getting divorced. So I expect that trend to help with this, but millennials are having babies later and getting married later. But so far, they have not skewed these stats yet. This is something new. All right. Let's see. Gabriel, you're in the top 50% with your 28K after taxes. Cool breeze between student loans, child support, and taxes is hard for most people to get up. I would agree. Cool breeze, you still living well, man. I know that doesn't sound like it, but you still doing well. Student loans, the mentality killer. Now we talked about the student loans, and I did this, and this is why you guys need to watch all these videos. If you have student loans and you have a lot, like say you have $50,000, you need to increase your income. You need to decrease your living expenses. Once again, sell a car, get a car you can pay cash for, and get you a side hustle going ASAP. Reduce your current expenditures and make more money. Most people just do one. You do both. Let's say you create a side hustle, which once again, let's be real. You're gonna be working your ass off. You ain't gonna be able to watch TV. You ain't gonna be able to hang out with your friends. But you get to 2K a month. Your student loans are 50. You take that 2K a month. You throw the student loans. 2 years, you're done. 2 years. Slaves don't know how bad they have it. That's funny. They in the orchards, they're making money off the people they know. One of the things, and this is one of the studies, that poor people disproportionately spend way more money on luxuries. The group of people who can ill to afford it. Yeah, that blew me away. You see somebody making, $20,000 a year, but they got $1,000 iPhone. That iPhone represents a large percentage of their income. Poor people spend more. I don't know why I put that O there. Now this is gonna really piss y'all off. I know it is. Low income families spend 40% of their money on luxuries. Now, if you are really poor, I know it's gonna sound fucked up. You shouldn't be spending money on luxuries. Now, once again, the median household income recently rose to 59,000. So you got someone making 28, someone making 31. There you are. Actually, you got two people in 20s, 28, 29. There you are. They're not even making 30,000 apiece. It's worth noting that the specialized nomenclature of the dismissal science, even eating at absolutely eating out is a luxury. And this is one of the funniest things. When I was a kid, going to McDonald's was like a good time. It was some big shit because we're going to McDonald's because we didn't do it every day. We did McDonald's two, maybe 2 times a month. McDonald's, Burger King, Sneaky Pete's, maybe 2 or 3 times a month. Some people do this 3 and 4 times a week. Now that's a mind fuck, isn't it? All right, let's see what happened. It just jumped. You're a senior. The payment's gonna come sooner than you know. Adonis O'Fuse, 1% distribution curve looks like the Peterson video on wealth distribution. The game is like Monopoly. If you don't know the rules of the game, you will fall off quick. Absolutely. What did I just say? I spent I don't have any debt. I could be wearing new stuff. Actually, I am gonna have to buy some new shirts. But one of the things I've learned is you have to have a budget regardless of how much money you make. You make $1 million, you still need a budget. Many people don't. Many people shoot. I made 160. I don't need no budget. Yes, you do. Because when you start to track and look at your money and where it goes, and this is something else too. When you get money, you get conservative as fuck. You become a conservative. That shit is wild because you start to see the fundamental unfairness that happens. I see. Once again, I'm not going to answer any questions that have nothing to do with the topic. This is another change, which I said I was going to do, but I really wasn't flexible. I was too flexible on that. Sure thing, Cody. Kevin Stewart, I make like 1K a month just on day swing trades, Drew. When they kill you on capital gains tax should not be much on 12K a year, man. How they kill you, man? 12K a year capital gains. It should be like 15%. How is that killing you? I don't understand. AC Sanchez, what would you recommend if someone wanted to invest 100K? What would you? I would leave that money in the bank and start a business. That's what I would do. Now, this is one of the reasons that I have an issue with quote the capital market guys and invest. As long as the market is up, it is great. Now, if you're a day trader, it doesn't matter if the market's up or down. You're gonna manipulate that. But if you're a buy and hold investor and you need that money, right now we have many people who are retired on pensions and their benefits are being cut and their payouts are being reduced. That's a problem. Donna says we understand how banks and insurance work can really flip the scare. I will tell you something that's funny. A friend of mine, we were talking this morning, and I said, my credit score dropped, and I really didn't do anything. This just happened. It dropped like 45 points. You know what she told me? She said, I just paid off a loan, and my score dropped 30 points. The credit thing has changed, and I know why it's changed. Well, I have a theory. I should say I have a theory. They ain't making any money unless you're in debt. So what they're going to do is punish you if you don't have if you're not a certain amount of debt. So what I got to do is go out and get a Best Buy credit card and then put some on it and pay it off before the interest kicks in. Leave that shit out there and put it on my calendar just to make the monthly payments to keep my score fucking high. That's ridiculous, but once again, as Donna's old fuse said, this is the game. And I haven't said this in a long time. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the game. Learn the motherfucking rules so you can win. And these are the new motherfucking rules. They're disturbing. It's like, damn, I don't want to be in debt, but if I want to play this game, I got to be in debt. That's the game. Logic reigns supreme. How much do you need to make a year to be all right? Great question. And I'm going to give you some scenarios because you can't like answer this linearly. If you are a person with good consumption habits, 50 to 70K, you'll be fine. You don't have any outrageous habits. You don't do drugs. You got family and kids, you need to be in the 90s as a couple or by yourself. If you want to be, quote, a baller, 150 and above. That's where you need to be. Notice I ain't say nothing about no 28,000. It is hard to live on 28,000 because after taxes, that ain't even two. It's like a little bit over $2,000 a month. That ain't a lot of money in certain income areas, certain areas. David Mendez. Whoa, whoa, whoa! It just jumped. Good Lord, it jumped. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Um, Good Lord, this shit jumped. I've never had it jump like that before. All right, all right. I see some super chats. Hold on. All right, good Lord. David Mendez, me and my wife volunteered surrendered our cars, took it on the credit, and bought a car with cash. One of the best decisions ever. It's easier to build credit back up. I mean, some of you might have to take that temporary L. Thank you, Venturous One. You can live on 500 a month. My absolute, well, before I moved here, I lived on 2,600 a month. Here, it's about 5,000, and most of that is the house payment. But I know, Donis. I know. I said that for you day traders. Suburban gents. I'm seeing the same thing happen on this end. What do you mean? Christian Emerson, how did you get out of debt when you were in the boarding house? Well, here's an interesting story. I didn't. All right. This shit was my wife's debt. And I felt, all right, I got fucked in the divorce. I got fucked on the child support. I was like, damn it, I am not getting fucked with this shit too. So I even told a story. I got called, I got served, I got sued by one of the creditors. Came to the house. I went to Google, Google's your friend. And I learned that at the time, once again, this changes. Don't take this as current information. This was like fucking 18 years ago. I learned that in the state of Georgia, you couldn't collect unless you had certain things in place. And I found out that this company didn't. Went to court. I'm nervous as shit. And the judge was like, objection, judge. This company does not have the rights to collect on this kind of debt in this state. And the attorney was like, well, no, no, no. And the judge was like, do you have a license? And the guy was like, no, we don't. Dismissed. That's how I got out. And I was like, whoa. I was on those credit boards and on Google. It became a part-time job. So essentially, I fought it. I did credit repair on myself and went from, I think, a 480 to a 720 in 8 months. That's how I got that shit off. But I'm going to tell you, you're going to be studying a lot of stuff. Well, congratulations, the beauty. Well, once again, that was my situation. You need to do your research for your situation. At one point, there was a technique to get medical bills off of your credit report because we had some medical bills. And because the way they were reporting this stuff, it violated HIPAA. And I was able to use that, and I threatened to sue them. And they balked. And before I could sue them, and then they left it on my credit report. But before I could sue them, took it off. It just one day it just disappeared. So, what's up, Decon? Thanks for the $2 super chat. You gonna move to Texas or Florida for that no income state, the state no income tax? Lance Brown, once the stock market and property falls, how long before it turns around? See, this is one of the things you got to understand. Thanks for the $5. If you're properly positioned, you can make money in good times, you can make money in bad times, but you got to be in the game. Big on the mark of the beast. I don't think it's the mark of the beast. Vice did. Oh, I saw that with the guy had the car and shit. It was wild. All right, Von B. Let's see. Adonis Fuse, not gonna lie, everyone and their mama's gonna complete in the hustle game, especially when they see on TV selling food, Craigslist. Oh, that's going on, man. You late. That's been going on for 4 years. You're gonna see offer up all these apps. It's crazy. Maurice Robert Smith became $1 billion riches 2 days ago. That's wild. Thanks, Steve Wilson, for the $5 super chat. Sorry to hear that, Eric, losing your job. What's up, LAR movement? Yeah, this is funny. Kevin Stewart, I learned more on YouTube, but I was always taught before my mom passed, and I should go to. Okay, I don't know. I think that was messed up. Dan, you moved. I can't wait for the crash. I am biased. It's crazy to think that 85K can put you in the 1%, just 85K. Once again, this is why I'm doing this. You don't, all right, let me say this, and a lot of you are not going to believe me. You don't have to become a millionaire to become wealthy. You do not have to become a millionaire to become wealthy. Let's say you have a lottery winner who won $1 million cash, and after taxes had $1 million cash. Then you got Farmer Brown who owns 100 acres, has a few cows, but he owns everything outright. Farmer Brown is actually wealthier than this person who has $1 million cash, because those assets, whether Farmer Brown is doing shit or not, continue to churn that cash. Once you spend that $1 fucking dollars, it's gone. And this is some, once again, the two teachers, people just want to go ahead and like, hey, possible. These two folks never made more than 50K a year as a couple. I think he made 22, she made 22. And what they did was lived on his income, and they bought real estate with her income, and they sent all their kids to college and paid it for it with those rental properties. And at the time, those houses were worth like 50, 60,000. Now it's 30 years later, they're probably worth 160s. But these people did not have $1 million net worth, but they were wealthy. You keep going on trips and taking all these experiences, or you can get yourself some assets and make some money. Because at some point, it's going to catch up with you. I know, man. I know you peeped that with the Southern States. What's up, Lewis? Thanks for the $5 super chat. Hit me up, Glendon at H undergrad, and open up your emails. This is a problem. We got a lot of people, and I should say some of these emails are going to your spam folder. So check your spam folder first, because we've had a huge issue with that. Ganji, actually, people are going to, here's the thing with marriage. People with money are still going to get married. Poor people, yeah, they're going to be tricking off. They're going to be having 8, 9 kids out of the wedlock. But people with money are still going to get married. And the millennials are getting married and staying married, and they've actually dropped the divorce rate like 15%. So once again, stop being scared. I'll give you a great example. Like, you got all these folks, these MGTOW channels, never get married. Don't fuck with a woman. Don't. There are women out there that you can roll up to them like this and like, look, I like you, sis. Mm-hmm. And this is what I got to offer. I think you're hot, and I'm gonna get you a house. I'm gonna get you a car. But what you got to promise me to do is you got to work on loving me. You know how many bitches will take that? Man, they be lined the fuck up. Because one, they're like, oh shit, this is what I get, and I have to do this, and I have to do this. You'll get women like, okay, because it's hard out here for a bitch. It's hard out here for a dude. Y'all don't get it. So this whole notion that every woman is this, because I've heard people say that every woman does have the capacity to become evil. True. But every woman is not going to do that shit. It just ain't. More southern states, more STDs. And I'm gonna tell you something. As someone who has 2 luxury cars, those bitches are like I've probably spent. I hadn't spent too much on the BMW, but that Audi, the brakes were $1,200. The brakes, the tires would be a G. So you got these people flossing. Next time you see someone with a Benz, do this. Walk by and look at the tires. That's going to tell you a lot about that person. I have seen tons of Mercedes, BMWs with those tires, damn near the threads are popping out. Once again, if you can't afford that shit, don't buy it. Because I'll tell you, they are expensive to maintain. The tires for my X5, 2 Gs for 4 tires, 2 Gs. But see, I don't drive that much. I rarely leave this neighborhood. I put like 6,000 miles on the X5 last year, and maybe 4,000 miles on the Audi. But I don't really drive. I don't have to drive to work and shit. So LAR movement, McDonald's, Pizza Hut. I remember when Taco Bell came to Forestdale. Man, we were all gassed up. It's like, we got Taco Bell. LAR movement. It was an event. It was an event. Now it's become, I got this saying, luxuries once tasted become necessities. So it ain't seen as special. I remember, and also the Whoppers were bigger and juicier. I remember because my little hands, I could barely get my hands around that Whopper. Now they've reduced it. And this is something else too. Food, like General Mills playing games with you. They kept the boxes from the Y side the same side, but they made them thinner and they put less food in there, but they didn't change the price. You can Google that shit. It's deep. Thank you, Mr. Lane. I appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to miss a lot. I just want to make sure I got all the super chats. But the content's gonna change. Some of you ain't gonna like it, but I'm gonna give you what you need versus what you want. It's gonna be solid, practical advice because I see just bad things happening to a lot of people based on false narratives. I'm just telling you, you have got to get your game, your financial house in order for yourself. If you're a single person, you have no reason not to be debt free. If you're a family, you got a wife and kids, I can see that. But as a single person, you don't need to be in a ton of debt. You're making some very bad financial decisions. I'm telling you, man, there's certain cars that just, I've been through it. Jamie Garcia, thanks for the $10 super chat. Ventures, people doing what I call raggedy flossing. Damn, I never heard of that. That's cool. That's cool. All right. So once again, if you want to stay subscribed, cool, welcome. If not, I understand because we're about to get into a different level of content and it's going to be boring shit. We're going to be talking about numbers and stats and stuff like this because the first thing you need to do is to get out of debt. And that means moving, getting a roommate, selling your car, doing shit like that. That's what you need to do. Oh, Archangel, thank you for the $10 super chat. Y'all trying to keep me in shit. But seriously, these are the decisions you're gonna have to make. I have been through this shit. I have been to the point stressed the fuck out because I had all these bills. Bill call, still had the landline, calling my phone, sheriff knocking on my door. That shit is stressful. And over those 8 months, I solved that problem. But hear this. I ain't do shit else. I went to work and I went to Google. I went to work, I went to Google. I ain't do anything else for 8 fucking months. And also after my divorce, I ain't really messed with chicks for too tough for about 3 years. 3 years. Because I was hurt. But I will see you guys later. The channel name is not going to change, but the content is. So with that, see you guys later. If you're in Hustler Undergrad, email me, Hustler Undergrad Business at glendon@hundergrad.com. this Sunday, 3 p.m., we have a Art of Holding webinar, and there's new content in the Art of Holding. So be sure to check that out. And I'll see you guys later.